Tom Hiddleston and Loki, this character being in the MCU, his choices as they affected the first few phases, the choices that he makes in this series and by the end of this series, universe-changing implications, as they did in season 1, but like even more so.
I've been pulled through time between the past and the present. Hello? If what I saw is true, there's nothing to stand between this world and utter destruction.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? I love your shirt.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm all Marvel right now. It switches, I have to say, from movie to movie.
Sure. Okay.
But still, I'm a big Loki fan. Thank you for having me. And, I would like to start by asking you, you feel like maybe having one season out somehow taught you the do's and the don'ts to do another season?
Yeah, I mean, the great thing is we have a lot of our cast and crew obviously coming back for it, and you just start to get a shorthand and you start to build a rhythm. So like you're able to figure things out quicker. There's just constant problem solving in making any film or TV show, and having done a first season, you're able to just kind of figure those things out much quicker. Because everybody kind of has just gotten into a better rhythm, which is why I think you see a lot of shows they get tighter and tighter and tighter as they go on a lot of times.
Yeah, I can only imagine. And something that I've always loved from this show from the very first season is how this Loki is somehow entirely different from the Loki we knew in the films. Was there any fear at the beginning maybe to show a not so villain-esque version of Loki?
So I don't want to speak for Tom, but there was something that he kind of talked about, which was like, if we were just going to go and do the same thing in making Loki, just do the same redemptive arc again, I think we were all a little bit worried that you did it, we nailed it, like people really liked it, and if you do it again, does it take away a bit from what Tom had given us for 10 years of that character? And I think the thing that excited me most, and I know excited him, was that we were able to then carve out a new life and a new path. And so much of it kind of feels like this is the path that wasn't taken for that Loki. And that when you speak of redemption, it's an even bigger redemption, because this guy can really avoid a lot of the downfalls that our Loki had, and maybe even transcend into something bigger and more exciting and the better version of himself.
It still amazes me how he can play both sides perfectly. I still watch him, in the films, and then I watch him here, and then I've gotten the chance to talk to him, and I'm like, how is he the same person?
It is, I can't imagine anyone else in the role.
No one. He's Loki.
How do you choose who lives and who dies?
Make the hard choice.
It's him.
I don't know if you've gotten this chance, but as I was doing my research for this interview, I've noticed that fans have tons of theories. They really want to see some things like Battle World. Have you gotten any chance to read any of that? And is anyone close to anything at all?
We read all of it, plus more. There are certainly... it all goes into the blender as we're developing these things and making these things. I will say this, I don't think anyone has come close to guessing where this season goes. And I'm not just saying that to be provocative. I genuinely think we've carved out a really cool new path that people won't expect.
I love that. And I know you're not going to be able to tell me a lot, and I really don't want to spoil or ruin the experience for anyone. I've only seen two chapters so far. But in a few words, and not giving a lot away, Kevin, can you tell me how this season 2 is gonna shift the whole MCU coming up? Because I know it fits in it.
Yeah, I think we make a really big swing at the end of this season, and there was no mandate to tell us, all right, by the end of this, you've got to do this to set up X, Y, and Z. But in now going on 12 years of Tom Hiddleston and Loki, this character being in the MCU, his choices as they affected the first few phases, Loki kind of going to New York, the event, like all of that happens because of that Loki's choices. The choices that he makes in this series and by the end of this series have universe-changing implications, as they did in season 1, but like even more so here. So it is just it just seems to be fitting that that's what this character has done for the run of these Marvel films and shows.
Should I be concerned in any way?
No, this season, especially, you're only up to 2, but I do think that this series does something profoundly beautiful with the character and finding glorious purpose, which has always been there. But we wanted to pay that off for the fans to make sure that it's a love letter to the fans of Loki.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to watch the whole thing. I'm looking forward to it. Congratulations on the show, and thank you so much for your time.
You too. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Come on, you're the god of mischief.
Always have been. Always will be.